Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Wealth Wisdom Financial Podcast, YouTube channel, all that fun stuff. And we've been doing a lot of, just getting out there, sharing a little bit about what we do and how amazing Profit First and Banking Yourself is. And what is really fun is we get to find other people who are doing amazing stuff in their field and how they are impacting the world, impacting businesses, and just helping businesses thrive more. And that's really what we want to see in our world, where we are like, some people think we are in a recession or we're coming into a recession or all that fun stuff that's not so fun. We want to make sure as we're building teams, as we're building businesses, that we build profitable, sustainable businesses that are thriving. And today I have a really awesome guest who also works with his wife, right? So, as you guys know, me and Amanda, we've been working together for years, doing business together, and we're still married, which is amazing. Actually, we celebrate 16 years in just a couple of days. So, Jim is the founder and CEO of Gain the Edge, a done for you provider of industry leading sales systems and unicorn sales professionals, which I do want to hear about this unicorn sales professionals, which he co-leads with his wife and an entrepreneurial partner in crime, Cyndi Padilla. Through their unique blend of laser targeted selling systems, inspirational team building expertise, and 60 plus years of combined sales experience, Jim and his wife have generated over $250 million in sales for a long line of high level visionary entrepreneurs. That's a lot of money there. It's why over the last decade, Jim has become the online educational industry go-to expert on launching high-ticket sales, live events, and one-to-many scaling. So Jim's mission is to help purpose-driven thought leaders untangle themselves from the day-to-day minutia of seeking leads and sales for their business. I mean, I tell you, I've been there. I feel like I'm in that boat sometimes. So that they're free to amplify their impact while scaling their business to the moon and beyond. So, with all of that, I'm going to invite Jim because he's going to help you scale your business to the moon. Hey, Jim, thanks for being here.
How you doing, Brandon? Thanks for having me.
So, that was a lot there. One of the things
Mouthful.
that I would love to hear is how long have you and your wife been married?
We are 25 years deep into this thing, and we've been in business for 8 years. Although being in marriage is kind of like being in business too.
So you've been doing business together for 8 years.
Correct.
So then how has that been different than like the first few years being married and all that stuff? How has that changed your marriage?
Well, quite honestly, it has been a monumental alteration to our life together because the first 15 years of our marriage, we were really separate. I was this entrepreneur over here doing my own thing, building businesses, crashing businesses, running with my own accounts, doing all kinds of stuff. And, because you were profit first and you got, there's money at play here. I'll touch on this piece, but I had all my own bank accounts, my own tracking. We didn't marry money. Everything was separate. And then she was the corporate manager leading, and she was, the 6-figure salary and the benefits and the stable. So her income was all the stability, paid the bills. Mine did all the extra stuff, vacations and all that other stuff. And then at some point when 2008, when I made some bad decisions financially in my mortgage business, it cost us everything. We had foreclosed on multiple homes, bankruptcy, everything. And then we actually separated. And then when we pulled back together, the first thing we decided was that everything was going to be together. One account, one business, one focus, unilateral decisions, working together, collaboration, and that if we were going to be in business together, that we had to really learn how to communicate and make sure that all this happened. And the best thing that's happened to us is that, running a multi-million-dollar business with hundreds of team members and clients all around the world, you don't have the luxury of having one of those days where, you know what, I'm not going to talk to you today. That doesn't happen. You have to learn how to communicate immensely about how to have powerful, nuanced conversations that move the needle, that keep personal out of it. Nobody's ever bad or stupid or wrong. We just have problems to solve. And it's done wonders for our marriage.
I think that's, I'm 16 years in. We started our first business about 3 years into being married. And then we had, it was a coffee shop business. And if you ever read the book by MJ DeMarco, Millionaire Fastlane. One of his takes is, if you want to be a millionaire, don't start a coffee shop. And I was like, man, I should have read this one before I started that business. And it was hard. Like, we were together in it, but we were still separate in a lot of ways, right? And then when things were difficult, we almost lost the business too.
Yeah.
And I think that oftentimes you need to be on one page. Like, for example, we had a miscarriage and some other things that happened that year that just made us going in a different directions almost. And so how to make sure that we are unified. And if you've done that over a long period of time, it's going to be amazing how much things you can accomplish, because you're looking at building teams, right?
Right.
Have you seen, like, as you guys are doing this together and you're unified, do you feel like it's easier to bring other people into the fold to build a mission or a dream or
Makes an incredible difference. We have to be on the same page. We have way too much at stake for our clients, for everybody that's happening. We're doing big dollar transactions, a lot of things happening. We create opportunities for a lot of people. And when, we have team that is in, 9 different continents and 13 different countries. And we can't afford for everybody to be on their own page. Everybody has to be clear when they come in. What's the value set we're working from? What's the direction we're all moving in? What is the overall outcome and experience that's intended? So we talk about that stuff almost daily because everybody needs to be on that page.
Yeah, I think that's where being that whole married couple team and dealing with conflicts and seeing both the hard part and the negatives and positives probably put you in a unique position where, maybe a person who's dealing with it individually and their spouse is working on something else has a different position, maybe. I don't know.
It's different because, what's interesting with us is I'm the visionary, right? I'm on stages, I'm on podcasts, I'm out, I make a bunch of promises, to the marketplace. And my wife, who runs our teams, who run the company, her job is to make sure those promises that I make actually get fulfilled on.
That sounds about right.
We watch each other, and I'm so impressed by how she handles everything. So every day we get to see each other in our greatness and in our failures, but there's usually a lot more things we're doing well. And it's so many times we get firsthand look to go, wow, she was great at that. She handled that so awesomely, or sometimes it's different than I would have. I'm like, hey, we need to do this. And then she just does it different. It's like parenting, there's times where I'm like, hey, we got to tell the kids this. She's like, just let it sit for a day. She'll forget about it. Because you watch teenagers make crazy decisions and stuff. And I'm always like, we got to solve this. She just said she's going to do that. She's like, she's a kid. She says all kinds of stupid stuff. Just let it go. 2 days later, they forgot about it. Right. We just have 2 different approaches to handling things, and they all are good. But so many times it's just you just get to see in a business setting, you get to see 1,000 times more of those decisions being made.
Yeah. How do you use like Enneagram, or what kind of ways do you figure out strengths and weaknesses for both you and your team?
We've used many, we use Strengths Finders, we use DISC. We haven't toyed around too much with Enneagram, but there's just a lot of different personality profile assessments, and they all are great. They all have different things that they reveal, so it's always interesting.
Because I think that's a power. My wife is a really good educator, right? Really good at educating systems, building the great systems. When it comes to sales, I know I'm a closer. I'm good at that stuff. Having those conversations, one-on-ones, just talking through it. That's one of my strengths, right? Building spreadsheets, not so good. But I need the team around me to help so I can get in the right rooms, right?
Definitely.
So how do you help in the sales arena with the team and other areas to amplify that for business owners?
Well, we specialize in coming alongside, actually coming inside of a company. My childhood, I grew up in a pretty abusive environment, and then I spent time in foster care and on the streets and in jail as a teenager. And I learned the first 20 years of my life how to master reading the room so that I could bend the will of the room to my favor, because that was how I have survived. That was my survival mechanism. And little did we know that was a skill set that I was going to be able to transfer into teaching other people and then ultimately monetizing to millions of dollars. But we've taken all of that, and then as our sales business, we master stepping into somebody else's business and really assimilating their brand and being able to blend into the environment and be the extension of the founder or the business owner, so that we're delivering a branded, seamless experience. And so all of our systems and strategies structure around that, as opposed to, like you mentioned, closing. We don't take the closing perspective to sales. We believe that sales come from experience. We deliver a powerful branded experience that leads to a sale, as opposed to showing up to sell a product. That way, even if they don't buy, they are still served so well that they stick around so they can buy later.
But I think sometimes in the sales industry, you got the Grant Cardones and all that who are, 10x everything, massive action. And I don't know if I like all of that. It helped in some of that to make sure I'm moving, making phone calls, doing all the things. But I've thought about massive appropriate action, not just massive action for action's sake. And then knowing, like, as I'm building to our business, right? It's about education. It's about conversation and relationship serving more than just, hey, can I sell you this product or can I do this? And I think that's a better way, I guess you could say. But it also takes a little bit of time, right? To make sure you have the bandwidth to think, to not even go into a deal that, hey, if this doesn't happen, I'm screwed.
Right.
I want to be able to walk away and say, all right, I put everything out there. I know that what I'm doing is best for the individual or client or business owner, and I'm just serving. How do you communicate that as you're training people and helping build that team for the business owner?
Well, it's interesting because we have learned that there's no one way to do anything. Right? There's a million ways to do a lot of things. And so it makes it a little bit more complicated because you got to find the right way that works in this scenario. The moment somebody says, this is the best way, you've already lost me, because there is no best way. There's the best way for this moment, for this opportunity, for this audience, for this offer, right? And it could change. There are a ton of variables in that. So what we focus on is really diving into what is the intended outcome and the objective. And then we wrap around the right strategy that will make sense for you, your offer, your ideal audience, the journey that they should be on, and what's the outcome and experience that you want them to have, because that's also going to help determine what offers you have in place. Right? Too many times we as entrepreneurs, we have fantastic solutions for people. They're just packaged really poorly, and you're delivering something that they don't really need because you're good at it. And we have to focus on what is the promises that you're making to the marketplace, and then building products and offers that actually support that promise. And the promise doesn't have to change. The products could change 1,000 times. And so we come in, and our whole objective is to design a business that is predictably revenue generating. So when we come in, we have the sole responsibility of generating revenue every day in your company. And who else has that responsibility? Usually you don't even have that responsibility because you got 10,000 other things you're doing. Right. So what our goal, part of the reason that doesn't work that way for most people is because they built a business that was designed to deliver a product, not a business that was designed to generate revenue. So they're trying to force it to make money, and it just doesn't work. So you don't have systems, strategies, and processes that lead that to happening. So we come in, we put in what we call an anti-closer sales system that leads you to a simple, predictable, consistent revenue that a good salesperson can deliver. They don't have to be a top tier closer, or it doesn't have to be you, the founder, because if it has to be a super closer to sell it, that means your offer sucks. That means it isn't clear. It's not clean. And we want to eliminate that so you can be scalable.
Well, I think sometimes it's also asking the right questions. And I'm in the financial services world, right? And what I've learned is Dave Ramsey has a certain way of saying, like, this is the only way it goes, and everybody else is stupid for believing in other ways or doing other things to get there, right? Even as I talk to clients and other people, my questions may be the same, but the answers may change, right?
Right.
There's a lot of that happens because we're in different phases of life. Goals happen, again, I do stuff with the infinite banking, right? And so cash flow is really important. And so thinking about how that works, how maybe a product fits or maybe it doesn't. That's a big challenge sometimes. And people just want the quick, easy fix, right? They just want you to tell them what to do. And here's the thing you need to do. Here's the 7 steps. Do this and you'll be perfect. And not understanding that we have to have conversations, and you as the individual have to actually think.
It's interesting because we have a client that we're in a process of negotiating with right now, and very smart, very successful company. And we were meeting with him the other day, and he just kept cutting us off. We were probing, we're trying to find more things about him. He's like, just tell
Mhm.
me what you do well and we'll just sell that. I'm like, we don't do that. We're not a one trick pony. We need to know what you're trying to accomplish. What are your
Mhm.
objectives? Where do you need to lead your clients? And then we'll build a system around that. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, but if I say that, you're just going to tell me, you're going to say yes because you just want me to say yes, and then we're going to do this. I'm like, yeah, but I don't do that. I don't want to sell for somebody that we can't sell for.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's imperative to us that we know what you're trying to accomplish and who you're trying to accomplish for. So then we can decide, A, does it fit? B, can we do it? Can we support it? Because we're not hurting for money. We got lots of clients and we're doing great. So
Yeah.
we're very selective with who we bring on because we know what we can acquire. But it's important because in the marketing and sales game, and sure in the financial services game, there's a lot of people who have like a one trick pony. This is the thing. This is the strategy I have. And I'm going to put every client into this strategy, whether it serves them or not. And that's just not a good way to go. That's a recipe for some long-term struggles. And you're always going to be starting over and getting new clients.
Well, and as I do like financial analysis, I am still qualifying them to see if it'll work for them.
Yeah.
And if anybody will come in and say, well, just give me some numbers and tell me what it, I'm like, no, I need to actually do a audit, financial analysis to see how this fits. And oftentimes I feel like I'm a marriage counselor and a therapist and
Absolutely.
all of that because money, as you said in the beginning, in marriage, we're on two different tracks and we never actually talk. We're just sleeping in the same bed together sometimes, right? And then we wonder what happened. And so I'm like, well, I need both of you here and asking what are your dreams and goals? And how's that going to play out? Because ultimately, when it comes to marriage or any of that, somebody's going to be left holding the bag, right? And how do we best position each other in a better place? Same with business partners, same with building a
Right.
solid team.
Do you ever tap into like what's people's philosophy around money or wealth or
Hmm.
anything that which helps you then determine how to best serve them too?
Yeah, I think some is asking, what was money like growing up? Who is your influences and all of that. And there's a lot of people who have poverty mindset, right? And then there's the Dave Ramsey camp, and then there's the Robert Kiyosaki camp, and then there's these
Right.
other camps. And that's why I like the profit first system
Yeah.
because the numbers are going to help dictate what I'm doing well and not well,
Yeah.
more so than emotions.
Right. Yeah. Our CFO is a profit first CFO. So we like that perspective a lot. But, I find that even in sales, and we were just talking about that this morning. We're doing a workshop tomorrow on putting people's one page strategic sales plan together. And I like to tap into philosophy because everybody's got a different philosophy on business and in sales. Like some people, it's profit over people. Some people, it's people over profit. Some people, it's don't sell the product, sell the dream. Some people's philosophy is close everybody,
Yep.
and none of them are bad. They're all just different. And that's going to dictate the actions you take. And somebody
Yep.
who's really focused on needing to hit their numbers is going to do things differently than somebody who is focused on long-term growth. And
Yep.
so it's understanding what is the philosophy that you bring. Like for me, our number one sales philosophy is it's not what you're saying, but who you're being while you're saying it, what matters the most. And so we're all about who do we need to show up as to serve
Mhm.
the people in front of me, to serve the client, to make a difference. And those are whenever we get to a crossroads, that always it leads us to making the decision that we want because it's based on our philosophy and how we show up. And everybody's got one. You just may not know what it is,
Yep.
but those are the things that, do you take risk? Are you risk averse and why? And, what damage happened to you as a child that makes you never want to spend more than 10% on investments or whatever it might be. And when we take that approach, then that's what we do right now. We're in a stage of our business where we're really focusing on wealth and new lines of revenue generation and wealth creation. And how do we help our money serve the world and then
Mhm.
using our business to do it instead of waking up every day going, where do we get more business? So our business is just an extension of how we serve the world. And so you make different decisions that way, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, and I would think you've evolved a bit, right? Personally, and as you work with business owners, they need certain elements of certain pieces in there because it's not always going to work, right? And if we're going into this maybe recession, right? What did work 5 years ago isn't going to work now, and so you have to like
Amen.
be evolving and learning and be okay. That's why I love
Correct.
the power of a team because then you have different strengths, weaknesses, and as you have a team, you can minimize the weaknesses, go on the strengths, and that just helps you.
It's a lot more important than people think. And with, economy as tenuous as it is right now, one of the most important things you need to be thinking about is how do you keep people in your world longer? Because over the next year or so, it may be harder or more expensive to acquire a client, which means you have to take care of the people who are in your world now. And how do
Yeah.
you ensure they stay in your world, right? And one of those is making sure that you've got systems. Like we work pipelines like mad. We've got incredible pipeline systems. And then our team nurtures those so that they're building personal relationships with these people so that if they're ready to buy 3, 6, 9, 12 months from now, there's an impersonal relationship that's still moving them forward instead of just waiting for everything to be automated and blast emailed.
What size business do you work well with?
Pretty much from 6 figures to scaling to seven, and then we have a lot of our core outsource client is 7, 8, 9 figure clients that are scaling towards an exit, scaling towards something purpose driven. But we have a lot of people that are the thing we don't work on as well is with brand new people who are just trying to figure out what their offers are and all that. That there's a lot of people who do that really really well, and
Yeah.
that's not the lane we're in anymore. So we're focused on people who have proven the capacity to earn some revenue. They just now need to grow beyond themselves.
As we've grown, we're in our 4th year of business, and starting this business, we started at the coffee shop, and we were looking to scale the business into multiple shops. The capital cost for running coffee shops is very expensive.
Yeah.
And, everybody's like, oh, yeah, it's a great concept. And we did sell it, not close it, which is powerful in and of itself. But moving into financial services, growing our team, because even when there was 2 of us, there's still a lot of work,
Amen.
still a whole lot going on.
I wouldn't wish that on anybody right now.
No. And now we're at like 4 of us,
Good.
and there's a lot of solopreneurs, and how awesome that is. It's such a great lifestyle. You're by yourself and all of this, and this is the American dream. You're on your own. And I think that sometimes in this world where we're in, where people have the great resignation, people have seen, Instagram things of, oh, I'm doing my work on a beach and this is awesome. And they don't realize how much work it takes, struggle, pain, right, some of that to build and to build a foundation of a team of 4 or 6 yes, or 8.
Well, I can tell you this much. One thing I have learned dealing with scaling companies, we come across a lot of people, I think, who are afraid to scale. And,
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are like, well, I don't want to make that kind of money. I don't need all. And usually there's some underlying fear and misconception that's driving that. And let me put some people's minds at ease. It takes just as much work, effort, and energy to sell $100,000 product as it does to sell $1,000 product or a 10,000. It is easier to run a 7-figure business than it is to run a 6-figure business. And it is easier to run an 8-figure business than it is a 7. So just understand that it's not about what you can do. It's about what you can affect, right? Yeah. So you can affect an outcome without doing all the things that you do, right? You don't have to be the one that wields the hammer and turns every screw. You're just the one who has to be able to impart your vision, a strategy, and outcome, and then surround yourself with amazing people who can help you do it. And most people you bring around will help you figure it out probably better than you could.
Yeah. I think that's been for our business, right? Growing and putting the people in place. That's the biggest investment that you can put into a business, right? More than how much stock you get in with Elon Musk or any of that stuff. And I'm always telling people we're always chasing rate of return. And as a business owner, my biggest investment is my business and the people that I have. And sometimes they can also be the biggest liability, right?
Yeah.
You can hire wrong. You can have the wrong marketing person in place, and sometimes it doesn't work out as well. But being quick to fire, slow to hire kind of idea, and getting those right people in place. And that's what I like about what you do is hiring those right people to scale the business so you can have an even bigger team, which makes bigger impact, right?
Exactly. At the end of the day, I don't know anybody who's making an impeccable impact in the world, all the impact that you want to do, who isn't doing it from a position of leverage with revenue. It takes money to make change in the world. And that's just the world we live in. So get smart about earning revenue, get smart about leveraging yourself, replicating yourself. And then that way you can really sit back in your brilliance and start focusing on where do you want to take this. Most business owners I know are not spending their days every day, 9 to 5, if you're lucky, just thinking about all the cool stuff you want to do because you're spending all day banging on stuff. You're chasing leads. You're trying to make sales. You're trying to build webinars. You're doing stuff. Is that what you got in business to do? Of course not. So grow, get beyond yourself immediately, not when you have the money to. immediately so that you can then get a quicker return on that and start growing. And then you can start doing the things you were called to do in the business instead of doing all the stuff that you don't want to do or probably aren't even any good at.
I think that's the key. So as we land this plane here, I think that a lot of times, myself included, we wait or we're scared, right? So I remember after we closed the coffee shop, I was like, I'm gonna do this new business, and I don't want to have staff again, ever again, because I remember like literally this was in the coffee shop days, going to the hospital because I had high anxiety, drinking way too much coffee because staff wasn't showing up. They were stealing from me and fired them. And then my blood pressure went back to normal. I was like, this is not happening again. And I was like, I am not going to get in that position again. And, making that whole idea of, hey, we have a team. We will let people go if they're causing me stress.
Right.
And it was so hard to start that whole process again because I was like, I said to myself I wouldn't do it. But if I want to make more impact, if I want to have this big vision, I can't do it alone. Even with me and my wife together, we can't do it alone. We need other support to help us, people who are smarter than us in other areas to make it happen. And I think
Completely.
that's in our individualistic life, we're told, you can do it everything by yourself. It's okay. But it's really in the power of team and it's in the power of relationship and community that we're able to make impact. That's just kind of where I've learned.
Yeah, well, a team is everything. And there's a lot of ways you can do it and you got to be smart. I mean, the great reason to work with a company like us is we have systematized and dialed in strategies on how to build the right team quickly, effectively that can deliver a
Mhm.
product and outcome, right? So as opposed to just randomly hiring people. So have a strategy, have a philosophy, have a process that you know what your end game is and what you're trying to achieve. In the last 60 days, I was on the road like 35 of the last 60 days. She was on the road 40 of the last 60 days. But we came back to, multi-million dollar events being delivered and sales and scales happening, events being planned, things done because our team is handling everything
Yeah.
because they're running our systems, right? And while we are not in it, I'm in masterminds, I'm on traveling all the time doing stuff. And we come back to team generating high volumes of outcome and revenue. Right. Short-term success you can do on your own. Long-term success is never going to work by yourself.
Yeah. I think that's a mic drop right there. So what I want to do is show people here. This is your site. It's gtenow.com. gtenow.com. I'm going to put this here. Gain the edge. And I think that's in our world, we need to have the biggest edge because big business does have a bigger edge than us oftentimes, but having the right people in place is key, right? And to be able to know the right people. That's why I love podcasting, by the way, is because I get to meet people and get to learn other cool businesses that are out there. That's going to help my business grow. That's pretty powerful. So, as you guys are learning, and maybe you're doing your business and you got a team of 20 or whatever, and you want to scale it, you want to gain a bigger edge, you want to get better at that, well, go here to GTE Now. Anything you want to share about this site here?
This site is just it just tells a story. It walks you through this is how you would work with us. These are the things we do. There's some great amazing testimonials from some rock star clients that we've had. And then you can book an appointment, get on my calendar, and we can just talk. We can talk about what your goals are, what your plans are, how you're trying to, what is it you want to achieve, and how can we help you reach it faster, more effectively, and more predictably.
Cool. And you also have events happening. So if you go to events at gaintheedge.com, there's how to create 29 profitable online events ideas, right?
Yeah,
Um,
well, we've done events for years, and then when COVID happened, we switched to online. We had mastered the online event, and everybody started coming to us, starting, how do we make money online? So this resource here is 29 online profitable event ideas, and the whole goal is to show you different ways you can make money online, ways that we have with our clients. And then, of course, there's a lot of videos and some resource on the back of it that will walk you through just unpacking these. And all along the way, there's plenty of opportunities to engage with us and ask questions and see what we can do to support you.
This is the thing that I've learned from this COVID era, right? And in general. We have kind of been siloed, right? And events are changing, and doing this kind of online thing or whatever. A lot of people have been like just kind of lonely, depressed. There's a lot of despair happening, right? And by being in some community and relationships, being in the masterminds, creating online events, those things are powerful because when we're business owners, oftentimes, here's what I've learned in being in masterminds and in general, people always are thinking, oh, this sucks. No one else is dealing with this problem. And then we realize, oh, Joe has a different business than I do, but he's still dealing with the same problem as I am. And we didn't even know it. Right. So being in relationship and in community and talking about this stuff is powerful. So go to
Yes.
these events, guys.
If you don't mind, I'm giving one more site. I have my own personal site. That's jimp360.com. I want to encourage you to go there. It's JIMP360.com. And I have everything in one location. You can go there and
Nice.
find all my social medias, some YouTube videos about me. You can book appointments. You can find out about how to hire us. You can find out about how to work with us and sell for us. Go to the contact button and click on the text me button. Shoot me a text with your name, your full name, and say, "Hey, you heard me here on the Wealth Podcast with with the Neelys," and I'll happily send you a gift on our anti-closer system. And I'd just love to hear from you. I really want to know what's going on with you in your world. And you can contact me any way that works best for you. Everything I have all in one location, jimp360.com.
I like this whole like website thing right here. I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. Yeah, join him. And guys, again, no one's gonna save you on this, right? As you're in business, as you're trying to grow your idea, maybe you're a two-person team or a three-person team. Get community around you. Learn from people who have done it, had some failures, right? One of the things I think is pretty interesting is we take advice from people who haven't done anything and don't have any arrows in their back, right? Don't have any failures because they're telling you all this crazy stuff that you should do, but they never actually did anything. So even learning from people who have had some big failures, but rebounded from those failures to create something even more amazing, those are the people you want to listen to.
Absolutely.
And I think that Jim is one of those guys. So thanks, guys, for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know what you think. And, of course, write a review. And remember, no one's going to help you break through to a smart, stable financial future. You need to go out and look for the right people that are going to help you get there. But ultimately, it's up to you to step into that, right? So thanks, Jim, for joining us. And I'm excited to get to know you even further.
Excellent. Thanks for the trust and the time.